It's a great pleasure and an honor to introduce the Canadian Governor General, His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston, as well as, of course, the Joint Chairman of MiGHT and Science Advisor to the Prime Minister, Emeritus Professor Dr. Zachary Abdul Hamid, MiGHT's President and CEO, Sheikh Yusuf Suleiman, as well as the Minister of Higher Education and the President of the Canadian Foundation for Innovation. Perhaps, Your Excellency, would you like to introduce some remarks and as well your accompanying delegate?
Well, thank you very much, Joshua. First of all, let me say what a pleasure it is to share a podium today with the Chairman, with the President, and the Minister. I've only been here on this third trip to Malaysia for 24 hours, but I had three very good friends here, and this is a friendship I cherish enormously. My colleague, Dr. Gilles Patry, on my left here, is the President of the Canadian Foundation for Innovation, the most important single granting agency in Canada that stimulates innovation. We've had a wonderful hour and a half together this morning with about 24 people from Canada and Malaysia doing the thing that good friends do best, and that's collaborate and conspire with good ideas. We've been focusing on innovation, and innovation is a very simple concept that's difficult to execute. Innovation simply means crafting a new idea or taking a new idea and applying it to do things better, whether those things be something technological, economic, or whether they be social, and thereby improving the human condition. We've exchanged a lot of ideas, and I think we're very clear that the opportunities for further collaboration, people-to-people exchanges, trade relationships between Canada and Malaysia are enormous. We share many things in common. One is that we are both very large countries with very large coastal regions with relatively small populations, about 30 million. And I think when you put the power of these two nations together, some very wonderful things will happen. Gilles, why don't you comment a little bit about some of your very interesting comments today, and then my colleagues may wish, and we'd be very happy to respond to your questions.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We've chatted about the concept of ideas and obviously innovation, which is central to our visit. Yes, it is about ideas, but it's also about people. And one of the things that we have identified is the need for partnerships, the need for collaboration. I think there are models that we have discussed today that could be shared with our Malaysian colleagues, models that we have started to implement in Canada in terms of bringing people together, researchers, but also bringing institutions, bringing the business sector together in developing these networks of excellence in many ways. And so I'm looking forward to the follow-up to our visit that will allow us to move ahead in the future. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Dr. Zachary, would you like to maybe give some remarks and introduce Yusuf?
Baik, kita telah mengadakan perbincangan yang bernas dengan Governor General Canada tentang prospek kolaborasi antara Canada dan Malaysia. Sebenarnya yang kita tahu, Canada ini sebuah negara yang mempunyai banyak kaitan rapat dan goodwill dengan negara kita sejak kita merdeka. Tapi jadi yang ini perbincangan dengan Governor General adalah untuk meneliti bagaimana kerjasama di antara dua negara itu boleh dilangsungkan dalam sains, teknologi dan inovasi, dan juga melibatkan akademia, pihak kerajaan dan juga pihak swasta. Dan itu juga MiGHT adalah satu entiti yang akan membuat tindakan susulan. Mungkin Yusuf.
Ya, kita telah mengenal pasti beberapa organisasi di Kanada sebagai rakan perbincangan kita pada masa-masa akan datang, termasuklah yang hadir pada hari ini, the National Research Council of Canada dan juga MiGHT daripada Canada dan sebagainya. Jadi kita akan cuba untuk mengenal pasti beberapa program permulaan. Kita telah mengenal pasti beberapa subjek seperti biomass daripada kita punya kelapa sawit. Kita mengenal pasti di subjek berkenaan dengan tenaga. Kita mengenal pasti projek dalam sistem pengangkutan dengan negara Kanada, yang di mana negara Kanada mempunyai kekuatan dalam bidang-bidang tersebut. Jadi kita juga akan cuba mengadakan satu lawatan balas ke Kanada dengan membawa delegasi industri dan juga wakil-wakil agensi dan kementerian kerajaan pada tahun hadapan. Kita menguatkan lagi collaboration kita antara kedua-dua negara. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Encik Yusof. Before we open the floor to questions, I'd just like to inform members of the media that we do have a translator on hand. If you'd like to ask your questions in Bahasa Malaysia, that can be organized as well. Otherwise, we take questions in English, and I would open the floor to any questions.
Let me just start the discussion by saying there's a wonderful symbol of Malaysian-Canadian cooperation in your Twin Towers, which I visited the last time here. I had a bit of fear of heights, so as I walked across the bridge, I was a little bit nervous. But I got to tell you that I was very reassured with my fear of heights, because that's a remarkable architectural achievement, those Twin Towers, and they're joined by a bridgeway. And the study of the wind currents for those towers was done by a Canadian company, which is the world expert in looking at the effect of winds on buildings and how they sway. And as I walked across that bridge, I was thinking, this is the best example of where two nations get together to undertake a very major project, as those towers were at the time. And in Malaysia's case, taking expertise around the world to achieve very high levels of competence. And it gave me great pride as a Canadian to think that we were able to participate in that outstanding project.
Questions from the floor?
My question to you, sir.
If you could just introduce the media you're with.
You from Situ Daily. My question to you, sir. You mentioned about the innovation is a very important concept. You mentioned about to exchange students between Malaysia and Canada.
Not necessarily to exchange students. I think today we did discuss about the ecosystem, how in Canada especially they have been successful, and how we can learn the best practices and exchange the knowledge and experience of Canada. And one of the areas that we talked substantially today is on the academia industry relationship. We admit the fact that there is a gap in Malaysia, that there is a need to improve on that ecosystem. And as you all know, industry-academia relationship is also one of our critical agenda projects. And listening to the dialogue today, I was also attracted to the National Innovation Council and how they do it, and that is one of the areas in which I think the ministry, the government, and our university can learn. So not necessarily about exchanging of students, although we accept the fact that in the knowledge economy, sharing of knowledge, not competition, is the way forward, because the world is more complex, more interrelated, more diversified. Therefore, we need to share for us to be able to face all the challenges and provide solutions.